In 1867, Kansas State University held its first commencement. 3 women and 2 men graduated that year. As the first land-grant university in the nation, this fledgling university had a vision of providing innovative education to all people. That early vision has continued through to the present. With over 250 majors and a diverse student body, including students from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. Becoming one of the nation's top 50 public research universities by 2025 is today's vision for tomorrow. With academic programs among the best in the nation and professors who are leaders in their fields, Kansas State University is an international leader in teaching, learning, service, and research. Today's graduates join over 200,000 alumni who are proud to call K-State their alma mater. Congratulations, and thank you to all those who have supported them through their undergraduate experience at Kansas State University.
Good afternoon. I am Michelle Toes, Associate Dean for Research in the College of Human Ecology, and it is my honor to welcome each of you on this joyous occasion. We in the College of Human Ecology join family and friends in celebrating the accomplishments of the graduating class of the fall of 2017. At this time, I invite you to stand and join Sam Wilson, Senior in Vocal Performance, and Stephen Kuchera, Senior in Accounting and Music Performance, to sing the national anthem. Thank you, Sam and Stephen. Please be seated. As I introduce today's platform party, please hold your applause until all are introduced. On my right, your left, Dr. John Buckwalter, Dean of the College. President Richard Myers. Dr. April Mason, Provost, Senior Vice President, and Professor in Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health. Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO, K-State Alumni Association. Dr. Sonia Britt Luter, Associate Professor, Personal Financial Planning. Jacob Lofquist, Student Commencement Speaker and a degree candidate in Kinesiology. Dr. Bronwyn Fees, Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Professor, Family Studies, and Human Services. On my left, your right, Barbara Anderson, Professor and Department Head, Apparel, Textiles, and Interior Design. Dr. Dorothy Durbin, Professor and School Director, School of Family Studies and Human Services. Dr. Michael Ottenbacher, Professor and Department Head, Hospitality Management. Dr. Mark Hobb, Professor and Department Head, Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health. Dr. Craig Harms, Professor and Department Head, Kinesiology. Dr. Shauna Jordan, Assistant Dean for Student Support, Assistant Professor, Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health. Please welcome Dr. John Buckwalter, Dean of the College of Human Ecology, to recognize faculty award winners and our student commencement speaker.
Thank you, Michelle. Graduates, your families and your faculty are so very proud of your accomplishments. We expect that the future will hold great promise for each of you. Today, we celebrate your accomplishments at K-State. Jacob Lofquist will represent the graduating class as the Fall 2017 Student Commencement Speaker. Jacob, would you please join me at the podium? Jacob will graduate with a Bachelor's of Science degree in kinesiology. The son of Patrice and Stephen Lofquist of Overland Park, Jacob has been an engaged student in the kinesiology department. Jacob was an active member of Christian Challenge, Flint Hills School of Hope Mentoring and Tutor Program, Golden Key Honor Society, and the Pre-Physical Therapy Club, where he served as a service chair. During his time at K-State, Jacob could be found in the community, volunteering for the Kansas Kids Fitness Day and helping the Purple Paws Animal Welfare Society find pets loving homes. Jacob received numerous scholarships and academic awards during his time as an undergraduate. He is described as a role model student by his faculty. Following graduation, Jacob will look to pursue a doctorate in physical therapy. The College of Human Ecology is pleased to welcome Jacob as he speaks on behalf of the graduating class. Congratulations.
First of all, thank you to the College of Human Ecology for the outstanding faculty that have provided us with a world-class education. Thank you to family and friends for supporting this extraordinary day in our lives. We could not have accomplished what we did without your care and support. Fellow Wildcats, you have shown tremendous perseverance and resilience during your time here at K-State. You have matured into young men and women that will be successful wherever you go in life. You have demonstrated extraordinary qualities that allowed you to be here today, and for that, I am proud to represent such a prestigious group of students. Woodrow Wilson once said, "The difference between a strong man and a weak one is that the former does not give up after a defeat." Resilience and perseverance. It is those people who possess these unique characteristics that are able to thrive and go the distance in life. They are able to take tremendous amounts of blows and yet still bounce back despite the odds against them. How do you develop these traits? Is there truly a secret? Or does it just come through developing strong habits and disciplines that will carry you through even the toughest storms of life? You see, nobody is immune to the trials, challenges, and pain experienced in life. The difference in those that thrive in times of adversity comes in the choice to continue to press on regardless of the circumstances. The reward comes to those who choose to continue to fight for their dream. It comes to those who continue to fight hard even when they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. Wildcats, I urge you to believe in yourself and never give up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is those who develop resilience and perseverance through the storms of life that experience growth. It is these people who are dedicated, disciplined, and have overcome trials that are successful in life. They are people who are bound to make a positive impact on those around them that will not soon be forgotten. They hold a special place in the hearts of others because they have influenced people to use their gifts to benefit those around them. They are an amazing example to others of what it means to live life in a meaningful and purposeful way. Students, faculty, parents, and children, this is the kind of person I am challenging you to become. This is the kind of person that our world needs more of. Thank you so very much. Dr. Shauna Jordan, Assistant Dean, will now recognize students with academic honors.
Thank you, Jacob. It is now my pleasure to recognize students whose academic performance earned cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude honors. 12 have been awarded the designation cum laude. These 12 students have a cumulative K-State grade point average of 3.750 to 3.849. 13 students have been awarded the designation magna cum laude. These students have achieved a 3.850 to 3.949 K-State academic average. 17 students have been awarded the designation summa cum laude, the highest academic honor conveyed by the university. These students have attained a 3.95 or higher cumulative K-State grade point average. Will the students who have earned academic honors please stand to be recognized? Please join me in giving them a round of applause. You may be seated. Kappa Omicron Nu is a national honor society dedicated to recognizing and encouraging excellence in scholarship, research, and leadership in human ecology. Kappa Omicron Nu students and faculty are wearing burgundy and cream honor cords today. Eta Sigma Delta is an international honor society for students with an excellent academic record in the hospitality and tourism industry. Eta Sigma Delta students are wearing cords also today. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Dr. Sonia Britt-Lutter as our distinguished guest speaker. Sonia Britt-Lutter is an associate professor of personal financial planning within the School of Family Studies and Human Services. She is a certified financial planner professional with training in marriage and family therapy. As a researcher and teacher of financial therapy, Sonia explores the role of money in couple relationships, families, and for the individual. Sonia's research on money arguments and their influence on relationship satisfaction and divorce has been referenced in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Kiplinger's, and Yahoo Finance, to name a few. She and her co-authors won the Best Theoretical Paper Award at the 2016 Financial Planning Association National Meeting with a paper titled Tightwads and Spenders, Predicting Financial Conflict in Couple Relationships. Her developmental work in the emerging field of financial therapy is summarized in Financial Therapy, Theory, Research, and Practice with co-editors Drs. Brad Klontz and Christy Archuleta. Sonia has applied her research over the last 10 years into a love and money curriculum and forthcoming book for young couples. Sonia has been active in promoting financial literacy and financial well-being on campus. She has worked with multidisciplinary teams to focus on first-generation students, food insecurity, and veterinary and pre-veterinary students. Sonia's work at the Financial Counseling Centers at Texas Tech University and Kansas State University have guided her effectiveness of financial counseling research agenda. Her work with college financial counseling programs culminates with a co-edited book with Dr. Dorothy Durbin titled Student Financial Literacy, Campus-Based Program Development. Sonia received her bachelor's and master's degree from Kansas State University and her doctorate from Texas Tech University. She was the founding president of the Financial Therapy Association and continues to serve on other national boards. She enjoys spending time at home with her husband, 2 boys, and many pets. Please help me welcome Dr. Sonia Britt-Lutter.
Thank you. One of my first thoughts in preparing my remarks for today is my memory of former K-State President Schultz's address a few years ago, when he said that nobody remembers who spoke at their college commencement. So, since you won't remember me, my hope is that something I say will resonate with you and present itself when you need it. I'm going to start with the story of a young mom of 2 children, ages 2 and 6 months. She was very successful in her job. She worked long hours and did the extra work that needed to be done. From the outside, she was super mom and a valuable employee. Behind closed doors, she was caring for a colicky baby who couldn't sleep and barely slept 4 to 5 hours a night herself. Her husband had just received word that he probably wasn't going to be rehired from his already part-time position. From the outside, everything looked fine. From the inside, it was anything but fine. That story had a tragic ending. The husband ended his life, leaving behind the mom and the 2 young children. That story is real, and that story is about me. When my 2-year-old was drying away my tears, I decided it was time to do something different. I didn't like people looking at me with sad eyes, and I didn't like people feeling sorry for me. I decided that day when my boy, who was growing up too fast, looked up at me and asked why I was crying as he dried away my tears, that I had 2 choices. I could let my children raise me, or I could choose to live. Standing here today is an example of my ultimate choice. I am not Sonia, the widow with 2 young children. I am simply Sonia. I found contentment with my life, I remarried, and I have the most amazing husband and children to share my life with. We have all experienced tragedy in our lives, and we will all likely experience additional tragedy. Our experiences are unique and cannot be compared for level of difficulty or trauma. What we can do is be a good friend, colleague, sister or brother, son or daughter, and ask people what's going on when we see something that isn't quite right, and not let tragedy define us. To cite President Meyer's KS Unite address, we can take care of family. We are K-State, we are family. Now, if I encouraged you not to let tragedy define you, I also have to recommend that you not let success define you. That probably seems like odd advice, especially coming from someone who finished her undergraduate degree in 3 years, her clinical master's degree, a PhD, and some work experience worked in before the age of 30. You can read my bio, and you heard my bio, and I'm very thankful for my publications and the awards that I have received. But that's not who I am. I play the role of Dr. Luter and Mrs. Luter, just as you will play the different roles in your life. But who I am is Sonia. As Sonia, I am content. I am grateful, and I am blessed. I strive for generosity and unconditional love and forgiveness. Sometimes I fail in my roles, but I am always Sonia. Sonia who is content, grateful, and blessed. These words describe my values. So my third and final point today is to let your values guide and define you through it all. A good friend once gave me the most timely advice when I needed it the most. She said that the response to skepticism is a simple one, that I am doing what I think is best for me. I am doing what I think is best for me. Nobody else can define that except for me. In a world focused on things, we focused first on people. As graduates of the College of Human Ecology, that saying is especially relevant to you. It's our college motto, and something that comes to mind frequently. If you are not taking good care of yourself, you cannot be helpful to others. Don't worry about what the current trends are, and don't judge or envy pictures you see on Snapchat. Worry about you. When you are content, everyone around you will see it and emulate your behaviors, your friends, your family, and your work. The opposite is also true. You get to choose your values. You get to choose what's best for you. Thank you, and best of luck in 2018 and beyond. It is now my pleasure to introduce Amy Button-Rins, President and CEO for the K-State Alumni Association, who will bring greetings on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to be part of your special day and offer congratulations on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association, representing over 250,000 graduates and friends who will now be your lifelong K-State family. Today, as you receive your degree, we are excited to celebrate with you and your family. We are also here to welcome you into a new relationship with your alma mater as you begin this new chapter as a K-State graduate. Our mission at the Alumni Association is to lead and inspire lifelong involvement that will benefit Kansas State University and all members of our Wildcat community. I would like to share the 3 of the core values that guide us in our mission to help keep you connected with K-State. The first value is link. The Alumni Association provides the lifelong link that alumni depend on to remain connected. You can stay in touch through hundreds of alumni activities held on campus, around the country, and internationally. Another value is tradition. You will likely celebrate a few traditions this weekend as you sing the alma mater or take KSU photos at your favorite spot on campus. You may have fond memories of doing the Wabash at a K-State sporting event or rubbing the nose of the bronze Wildcat statue at the Alumni Center for good luck on a test or to ensure a Wildcat victory. As the keepers of tradition, we also hope you will have a chance to visit the Alumni Center to experience all of the wonderful traditions kept there, including our newest addition, a stained glass mural designed by 2016 graduate Marcus Gilbert, which pays tribute to the beauty of our state and the K-State campus. The third core value is purple. For K-Staters, it's more than a color. It's a symbol of pride, connection, and family. When you see someone wearing purple, or a K-State class ring, or sporting a K-State license plate, you will feel that sense of family. In recognition of your graduation, the College of Human Ecology and the Alumni Association are providing you with a complimentary one-year membership to the Alumni Association. We hope you will enjoy the membership benefits and continue to be an active member after your first year. K-State alumni are among the most loyal in the nation. In fact, our membership ranks in the top 5 in the nation and #1 in the Big 12 Conference for the percentage of graduates who are members. That loyalty is shared by generations of K-Staters who have the same passion for the K-State family that you feel today as you receive your degree from one of the finest universities in the nation. The Alumni Association is also pleased to present to you today with an exclusive alumni business card holder. As you go through life and your titles and addresses change, please be sure to keep us updated. We want to make sure you are always connected to your K-State family. Congratulations and go Cats.
Thank you, Amy. To the graduates of the class of 2017, your graduation is an important occasion. Your family members and friends, many of whom are with us today, have helped you to achieve your goal of earning a college degree. Would you please take a minute and join me in a round of applause for them? In addition, will the faculty of the College of Human Ecology rise so that we can also thank you and commend you? Thank you. And now, the moment we've gathered to celebrate. Will all the candidates for degrees from the College of Human Ecology please stand? By the authority of the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, upon recommendation by the faculty and upon completion of degree requirements, I am pleased to confer upon you the respective baccalaureate degrees you have earned in the College of Human Ecology at Kansas State University. You may now move the tassel to the left side of your mortarboard. Congratulations to all the members of the class of fall 2017. You may be seated. At today's ceremony, I invite President Richard Myers, Provost April Mason, and Associate Dean Michelle Toes to join me for the presentation of diplomas.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Apparel, Textiles, and Interior Design please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Apparel and Textiles and Interior Design. Bachelor of Science in Apparel and Textiles, summa cum laude, Blair Catherine Burdick. Annabelle Elizabeth Fries. Magna cum laude, Ashton Mackenzie Hanna. Holly Patrice Peterman. Jennifer Marie Vogt. Fabiana Beatrice Salazar Vega. Please join me in congratulating our new graduates. Dr. Dottie Durbin will present the degree candidates from the School of Family Studies and Human Services.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Family Studies and Human Services please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Family Studies and Human Services and Bachelor of Science in Personal Financial Planning. Bachelor of Science in Family Studies and Human Services, Communication Sciences and Disorders, Reagan Ray Albertini, summa cum laude. Summa cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Anna Michael Boyer. Summa cum laude, Honors Project, Hannah Marie Carlgren. Magna cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology Honors Project, Christina Isabel de Graffenried. Magna cum laude, Bailey Anna Eck. Cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Abigail Ann Enna King. Cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Marcy Louise Gagne. Magna cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Jenna Marie Haverkamp. Summa cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Kylie Lynn Manville. Cum laude, Jocelyn Nicole Martin. Magna cum laude, Michael Slate Moore. Summa cum laude, Secondary in Gerontology, Laura Ann Monk. Brock Christopher Sexton. Honors Project, summa cum laude, Jessica Gale Shields. Magna cum laude, Anna Ione Sunderland. Summa cum laude, Honors Project, Allison Ann Valentine. Early Childhood Education, magna cum laude, Rain Ashlyn Davis. Courtney Megan O'Grady. Summa cum laude, Tessa Marie Pearson. Cum laude, Lardon Nicole Velacity. Family Studies and Human Services, magna cum laude, Caitlin Beth Albert. Raquel Amaya Varaga. Susan Ann Bartlett. Melody Young Battis. Alyssa Marie Bizerto. Summa cum laude, Sarah Ann Benedict. Cum laude, Madeline Faye Briscoe. Kirsten Micah Bundy. Gabriela Sofia Casanove. Catherine Ann Dixon. Summa cum laude, Caitlin Elizabeth Ensminger. Harold Lee Flannery. Madeline Frances Forbes. Cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Jacob Connor Fry. Summa cum laude, Taylor Jean Nagy. John Douglas Grosskirth. Gilbert Herrera. Gilbert's diploma will be presented by his sister, Dr. Socorro Herrera. Rachel Sue Youngsma. Stephanie Marie Luttrell. Sarah Christina Martin. Michaela Lee Meehan. Chloe Marie Nicholson. Magna cum laude, Sabrina Renee Norris. Gladys Sierra Ramos. Sarah Elizabeth Rawich. Kenzie Danielle Reimer. Erin Elizabeth Ritter. Jamie Marie Schultz. Robert Garfield Simmons, Jr. Leah Madeline Smith. Kirsten Lynn Steinlage. Savannah Jane Thorne. Cody Dawn Turner. Megan Elizabeth Wanamaker. Secondary in gerontology, Megan Nicole Watson. Secondary in gerontology, Ashley Marie Wells. Magna cum laude, Rachel Christine Wittrey. Teresa Rose Zaruba. Bachelor of Science in Personal Financial Planning, Kyle Stephen Beecher. Rachel Lynn Davis. Dayton Daniel Smallsreed. Please join me in congratulating our new graduates. Dr. Mark Hobb will present the degree candidates from the Department of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Food, Nutrition, Dietetics, and Health please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training, Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition. Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training, Tressa Elizabeth Chandler. Callista Irene Hickman. Patience Janae Ivy. Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, Leah Marie Himes. Cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Quintina Grace Leora Ruth Tillotson. Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, Nutrition and Health. Mary's diploma will be presented by her father, Dr. Joe Harner. Mary Frances Harner. Mariah Stephanie Kiefer. Marissa Dawn Lott. Sydney Allison McIntosh. Rosemarie Wadman. Nutrition and Kinesiology, Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, Nutrition and Kinesiology, Lauren Marie Delvecchio. Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology and Bachelor of Science in Human Nutrition, Nutrition and Kinesiology, Rebecca Irene Highland. Nutritional Sciences, Isaac Otto Tisdale. Please join me in congratulating our new graduates. Dr. Michael Ottenbacher will present the degree candidates from the Department of Hospitality Management.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Hospitality Management please rise? Dean Bockwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management and Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management. Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management, Grant A. Bublitz. Megan Lee Hadley. Lauren Marie Hauser. Summa cum laude, Stormy Jo Hiddle. Haley Adele Veramontes. Megan Elizabeth Williamson. Please join me in congratulating all our new graduates. Associate Dean Michelle Toes will present the degree candidates from the Department of Human Ecology.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Human Ecology please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology. Bachelor of Science in Human Ecology, General Human Ecology, Secondary in Gerontology, Megan Lee Donovan White. Alex Nicole Harden. Sarah Louise Long. Secondary in Gerontology, Laura Elizabeth Rush. Haley Renee Steiner. Brenda Lynn Soul. Please join me in congratulating our new graduates. Dr. Craig Harms will present the degree candidates from the Department of Kinesiology.
Will the degree candidates from the Department of Kinesiology please rise? Dean Buckwalter, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Tristan Scott Alderson. Colin Michael Amick. McKenna Christine Bayless. Colton Riley Buer. Jonathan Matthew Clark. Dylan Barron Crawford. Julie Elizabeth Davis. Cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Caitlin Kylie Gamble. Megan Elizabeth Donnelly. Timothy Allen Gaunt. Tevin Brent Geddes. Erica Brittany Hess. Ashaya Diane Hyatt. Tyler James Hubbs. Cheyenne L. Hudson. Cum laude, secondary in gerontology, Jennifer Jolene Jackson. Bailey Nicole Jurgensen. Brandon Russell Keller. Courtney Elena Kipp. Keaton James Larson. Commencement speaker, cum laude, Jacob Scott Lofquist. Jocelyn Giselle Macias. Justin Carter Matthews. Andriana Roxanne McLeod. Giancarlo Molina. Jenica Nadine O'Neill. Christopher Riley Ratliff. Kendall Ann Reynolds. Summa cum laude, Teresa Renee Shaler. Lindsay Michelle Simmons. Rachel Lee St. Clair. Connor Tobish. Jacob Tyler Van Berklio. Justin James Folkman. Taylor Diane Wheelock. Hannah Nicole Willems. Madeline Jane Winkler. Please join me in congratulating all of our new graduates.
Graduates, you came to Kansas State University from all corners of the world, and for a brief moment in time, your lives converged in the classrooms and laboratories and studios in the College of Human Ecology. It has been for us a privilege to help you learn. From here, your lives will once again diverge as you pursue advanced degrees and careers, and as you follow your passions through as yet unknowable life pursuits. As you start your new lives, I'd like to leave you with a couple of thoughts. Do not think of your newly minted degree as a ticket to a specific place, but rather as a passport that can take you to an unlimited number of destinations. Indeed, as a privileged passport holder, you will have access to places that you cannot even imagine. Embrace the journey, but be generous with your time, talents, and resources. As college graduates, you are a privileged group. Take others with you on your fabulous journey. Invest yourself in the lives of others, your community, and your alma mater. The College of Human Ecology and Kansas State University are extremely proud of each of you. Please stay connected to your K-State family. We can't wait to see where your journey takes you. Once again, congratulations and best wishes from the College of Human Ecology to the graduating class of 2017. At this time, I'd like to invite you to stand and join Sam Wilson and Stephen Kuchera in the singing of the alma mater for the first time as alumni. The words are printed on page 3 of your program. At the end of the refrain, will the audience please be seated for the recessional?